Sorry viewers, we've had a breakdown in the technology. Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, welcome to the channel. As I give you footage of the beautiful black swans with the red beaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, about close to 30 of the swans. I was talking on the subject of no alcohol or drugs, the impact they have on your life, health, mind and finances. Say no to drugs and alcohol. They're not cool. Say no to nicotine and smoke that affects your lungs. There's one taking off, viewers. Magnificent birds. He's away. Alcohol can creep in at a young age, and drugs and that, through the people that we have around us. And it can be an identity problem, it can be a sense of worth problem. You just want to fit in. And they've got a way of getting their claws into you pretty quick, the sensations of that stuff. But it doesn't take long before the consequences of the use of these things begin to catch up on you. Your body starts to say, hang on a sec, this is not ideal for me. But there are people that tend to refuse to give in to the signals their body sends them in the consumption of these things. You'll find the marijuana people are very stubborn when it comes to the use of their dope. And I've seen a lot of these foolish people just stubbornly continue on with it. And I never saw any good come out of any of it, even as a young man with the bikies. I, at a very young age, realised that alcohol, drugs and all these pills and cocaine and that did not work. I've seen people killed on their motorbikes, they committed suicide, they ruined their relationships, they grew old before their time, they ended up with nothing. And the ones that come out of it were the ones that did end up with something. That was the funny part about it. The ones that woke up were the ones that got somewhere in life. Now, I'm not sure what a lot of these people want in life. They say money's not important. I've heard this so many times, oh, money's not important. Well, leave your job. Do you know what I mean? There's no wisdom in this at all. You're on the Brisbane Water, Gosford, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia, exercising with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist of the Pro Brick exclusive YouTube channel and the Pro Theologist YouTube channel. Say no to drugs and alcohol. Now that might sound like you're trying to spoil it for people or you're being a party pooper. No, I don't judge people that are into all that. I just warn people against it. It's up to you after that, what you decide to do. I'm nearly 58 now and I've lived all my life without that stuff. There was an early stage, 14, 15, 16, where I experimented a bit with it, but I soon got out of it and never thought that it was any use for me to go ahead in life. But everyone's different and everybody's got their vices and beliefs. Health is something that you have to bring with you daily. And if you trifle with your health, you're trifling with something that may not return for you, because it takes effort to have health. Particularly if you're going through a breakup, you have to have your health. That's what upholds you. When people show what their true values are and they don't match with yours, the mirroring stopped. That can lead to a breakup. Let me give you an example. One of the wise things you can do if you're not sure about your relationship is mirror, just for a week or two, maybe just a week, mirror the way the partner's treating you. Mirror it. Just mirror it. Psychologically mirror it. Say to yourself, right, okay, yeah. I did this in a couple of my relationships. You'd notice that there's no communication. No communication. Oh, they're coming over pissed or stoned. Oh, I wouldn't do that. And you can measure the performance and the honour, the respect of that person towards you by doing this. If a person is actually coming over completely stoned or whatever the case might be, they might actually be mirroring somebody else altogether. And that could be a warning sign for you that there is more going on than what you're aware of. Drugs have a way of ruining everything in their path. And if you bring this to these people's attention, not that they don't already know, at least they can look back and go, well, the guy was just a decent living person. Doesn't really matter what they think once they're gone, but their conscience will show them. A lot of these people have demonised family members that will interfere in their relationships. You won't see this at first, but they will come to the surface if they're there. And if the person you're with is equally on board with that spirit, you're not going to see a resolve from that person. Which then means you need to be subject to the bad behaviour. And that may not go well for you. That just may not go well for you. They may not sit with you. You see, there's a lot of people wasting time now. They're players, male and female. They just want to continue on their downward spiral of bad habits. Get a bit of sex here and there where they can. And whatever life brings to them or does to them, that's it. And to me, that's unattractive, it's defeative and destructive. It's demonic, earthly, soulish and demonic. And it's actually lazy and energy wasting. If you get caught up with one of these people and they know how to hide it, you have to listen to your gut. the inner senses that will tell you what you're dealing with and how it's, where it's going to go, where it's not. And being 58 now, nearly 57, 58, you just haven't got time for people to come into your life and turn it upside down and take your energy and give you what they got, whatever that is they got. And no. You get to a point where you're quite happy to be alone. Sorry, I'm still battling that. Just on the tail end of this flu now. People don't want to put up with these individual family members that are messed up and wrecked up, interfering demonically into the privacy of the relationship. Passive aggressively undermining through interference, business that really has nothing to do with them. I've seen some real sick family dynamics where the parents given the authority of the household over to reckless children that can't even manage themselves properly, and they're still supported by their parents, or at least semi-supported by their parents, well into adult life. And adult life begins at 18. Let's not make excuses. You'll find a lot of these people have a serial victim and martyr mentality. They grandiose themselves on how unfortunate they are with life and all the horrible things that life's done to them and the opportunities that they've missed. But a lot of it's because of alcohol and drug abuse. These people own their depression. They've got their carefully designed depression that's all theirs and nobody else's. It's mine. They're selfish about it. I don't advise anybody to own their depression. I would say seek help to find out what the hope deferred is. Hope deferred usually causes depression and anxiety. Say no to drugs and alcohol without conscience. A lot of these people live in a culture where they grandiose each other because of their drug use. There's a communal, sort of narcissistic communal salute to their destructive behaviour. They will, if they can, bring people in with them. They'll give you a try and the next thing they'll charge you for it. And then they leave you to work your way through the destruction of it all while you're watching them waste their lives. Oh, this isn't uncommon. Then you become a customer. They get their pat on the back from the supplier. And there's an applause around all this wicked behaviour. People on drugs are paranoid. They fly under the radar. They don't think people notice them, but they do. They're like birds with their wings clipped. Life could be so much better. A lot of them have issues with themselves that they've brought on themselves or otherwise. They could have had horrible, terrible things done to them at a young age. But they forget they're not the only ones. And some people have turned their lives around for good as a result of these misfortunes. There's a tremendous element of selfishness involved. In that selfishness and victimhood camaraderie, because they can all limp around together and justify their cravings for their drug of choice. It's like throwing seed to birds. They just flock in like seagulls. Before they know it, they're old. They've wasted every opportunity they've had to do something for themselves, for all their work. And they hate. They hate. But they've only got themselves to blame. Blaming everybody else doesn't work after a while. And that's how drugs work, viewers. Say no to alcohol and drugs, because they will waste your life. Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. Keeping fit and healthy. Bye for now.